All right, folks, I am back on a live stream. First time I've been on a live stream in a long time. I've kind of tabled Twitch for right now because live streaming is so amazingly aggravating for the most part. Hopefully this stream, we won't have any issues with it. I really hope it works out good today. So it's already at 50% of the CPU, so we're not going to try to tax the system too much. Why am I live streaming today? Because basically it is the launch day of my Patreon account. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is showing you how I'm going to be working on my Patreon, and I'm going to be populating it and different things like that. So that's what I want to do, is take you right to that. So I've got everything in place. I've got lunch so that I can sit here for a while. Little Caesars, they're the bomb. They rock. They recently opened up in where I live, so closer to the town where I live. So that's amazing. I've got the kitty cam down there. Keeping an eye on the kitty until I need the cam for something else, which I may. And I've got my screenshot and screen sharing ready for both screens, both monitors, okay? And also, just in case of emergencies, have my sit tight, we'll be right back, screen ready and available and waiting. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and check to see how the stream is doing. All right, so it looks like it's all right. Let's, hopefully I can hear it. So just in case of emergencies, screen ready and available and waiting. Check 1, 2. All right,
I'm gonna
so
have to change the
without further
audio
ado,
source
let's
for
go
just a
ahead
second
and
so I can
check
hear it.
to see how. So just in case of emergencies, screen ready and available and waiting. Check 1, 2. All right,
I'm gonna
so
have to
without
change the
further
audio
ado,
source
let's
for
go
just a
ahead
second
and
so I can
check
hear it.
to see how. All right, hopefully you heard that. Hopefully everything is sounding okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this whole process of working on Patreon, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I think, and move OBS to the side so that I can still see what's going on, but get it out of my way for the most part. There we go. Okay, so you're welcome to chat if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and say hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. Not now. I don't want to do anything right now. Welcome to my live stream. Check out my Patreon page at all right. And we're going to hit enter, and that should be going. Chat is successfully connected, so let's get on with it. All right, so stream health 5 are watching now. Wow, thank you so much for watching. I will try to keep my eye on the chat as we go, but we'll see how that works, and we'll see how everything happens. Make sure to share this with other people. Matter of fact, I probably need to do that. Let's see here. I need to actually copy the link address and go ahead and inform people that the live stream is happening now. All right. And we'll go ahead and send that right now. Hopefully, at least one social. All right, so let's go ahead and do all of them. Why not? All right, everybody should be able to see my live stream now. So I want to go ahead and show you what I've done already on Patreon and what's going to be happening here. Okay, so this is my Patreon page, patreon.com/EricBeatty. And oh, by the way, if you're tuning in, I won't be able to hear anything because I don't have my headphones on. I didn't want to fool with headphones today. So unless somebody actually, joins the Hangout or stream or something like that, I don't know if they can. It's all chat based. I won't be able to hear anything anybody says. So just keep it to the chat window, and it'll be a lot easier for everybody. I don't have to fool the headphones. So it's hot enough here. It's almost summer, people. Can you believe that? It's like spring never happened. All right, so as you go on my Patreon page, you'll be able to see the overview. There's nobody donating right now. There's nobody signed up because it's brand new. I just launched it today. And we have a video that I just finished last night. It took a long time to do, so I finished doing that last night. And you know what I'm going to do? I just thought of something. Maybe you guys want to see the kitty. You guys want to see the kitty? That'd be awesome. Let's go ahead and put the kitty cam on my screen here. All right, so let's see if I can do that. Let's add a video source. Video capture device. Actually, let's cancel that. I can do that a lot easier. So all I got to do is go to the kitty cam, copy it, go back here, paste it, and there it is. All right. So let's put the kitty cam. Let's go ahead and crop that out a little bit. You don't need to see the high fiber, bars there. The kitty cam right there. She loves to sleep. She loves to keep daddy company. So let's put the kitty cam. Let's get it beside mine so I can kind of size it up here. There we go. We're going to go over here and put the kitty cam. Let's just put it bottom left. Why not? All right. And hopefully you can see that. There we go. Let's widen it out just a little bit more in case she moves or something like she just did. All right. So hopefully that won't be an issue, won't be a problem. So let's get back to what I was talking about. All right. Patreon page. Here's my brand new video. Now, if you watch that video, which I highly encourage you to do, you'll see a little sneak peek of one of the videos that I've been waiting to record for years now because of a certain special guest. And they came down recently, and we had a good time picking and grinning. And those of you who are on YouTube who know what I'm talking about, you'll be excited to know that I'm really heavily working on that video, trying to get it released, as well as maybe some additional perks for Patreon here on my Patreon account. Now, let's see here. Here's what we're going to do. Since we're talking about perks, we'll get to that in just a second. But here's where it starts with. This is just a note that I am busy working on adding the perks to the Patreon accounts, the different rewards tiers over here. And that's because when you, I don't know why they don't do this, but when you first get your Patreon page started, as you're editing it and you're getting it ready for launch, you can't add any content other than what you see on the page here, the rewards information and the video, the goals that you see on the left and the little description there. You can't really add any actual perks yet, the content for that. That's only when you go live can you actually post your perks. So this is what that's for. I appreciate your patience while I populate the rewards tiers with perks. Okay, so if you'll watch the video, it'll kind of direct you around the site. You can come down here and see what my Patreon page is going to be all about. Okay, and I've already populated some of these areas, okay, with posts. So I'm not going to go over each and every reward link here, reward tier level, but you'll be able to see there's plenty to enjoy here on my Patreon page. I decided, and the video explains this, but I decided to name these tiers after my favorite bluegrass instruments. Obviously, I'm a bluegrass guitar player primarily, and I wanted to do that. So we have the first reward tier called Fiddle. It's slow and steady. This is for the beginner. It's $1 a month, okay? And each of these has different layers, okay? So you have 3 different perks here on this one. The mandolin tier is a $5 participation patron account, and you have even more. We're picking up speed now. So each of these help me get towards the different goals that I have listed here. You can view all of them here. You can scroll over to the side and see the different ones that I have in mind when I start earning so much per month. And these may change as as I continue to grow. I may actually buy some of these before the goal date. I may have some sales on my courses or things like that, and it'll help me get to that goal further. If so, then I'll change the goal and we'll make it something else. But as we come down, you got the mandolin tier. It's picking up speed, and you can see what the actual cost of each tier is here per month. And the rewards are definitely highly valued. I try to add as much value to each pack as I could, each package. We got the guitar tier, my favorite instrument. We're picking and grinning now. The magic of video happens here, so you'll see things like additional video content, bonus scenes, deleted scenes, and more live streams like you're seeing now. If I've decided to have a live stream or a hangout or something like that, specifically for Patreons or patrons, that'll happen in this tier. You'll be able to see that. You also get access to my totally free guitar newsletter archive page. Over 70 videos of lessons that I recorded in the process of a span of 2 years for my Secrets of Texas Blues Guitar newsletter kind of division over there on the side. And that took me about 2 years to create that content. I finally decided it's time to move on to something else. But I didn't want that content to be wasted. And I felt it was really great content. So I decided to give it here away on Patreon at the guitar tier level. Now, there's only a few people that have access to that, and that's mainly my newsletter people, as far as I know, unless the link has got out or something like that. So make sure, do not share any of these links with anybody out of just, etiquette for the community we're trying to build here on Patreon. You get access to even more Trello boards. If you noticed up here, we've got a Trello board that I'm using specifically for Patreon, and I can go up here and go straight to that. And here's all the ideas that I've been working on for Patreon, and a bunch of them have already been done and implemented, and you can scroll through all these, and all you have to do is go over here to welcome, click on this, and it will open up the card, and you'll be able to see my welcome message, and that's mostly what all this card is, and how to navigate this board and all that. And there's more information about Trello if you click this card. The way Trello works is these are cards, okay? This is kind of like a pin board, a Kaizen board, if you will. These are lists that the cards sit on, so it's almost like a bulletin board. Then you get to choose your background. I love the backgrounds they have here on Trello. You can actually go show the menu and go to settings, and you can change. It might not be settings. Let's see. What is it? We go to the actual menu part here. We can change the background, and they use photos. If we did photos, they use photos from a site called Unsplash. I love Unsplash. High quality, royalty free, no copyright license, free to everyone to use commercially and personally. Unsplash is a great site if you're looking for cool photos to use in your business. Okay, so that's what this one is. This is one of my favorites recently that I come across. It's called Infrared Dolomites, if you want to check that one out. All right, so these are all like the Patreon music side of things, like the music, the mandolin level, the Patreon videos. That would be the guitar level, and within some of these, if I decide that I can't decide on something, what I'll do is I'll put it on Patreon and ask you guys, those of you that are patrons, to vote and on that. And those cards will be located here on the currently voting on. And the more votes I get, that will help me kind of steer in the direction of what you guys want to see here on my Patreon page. I'm eventually, maybe, depending on how well this works, maybe try to do a Patreon writing page. Because I'm really interested in writing. I've just released the last of my 3-book series on setting goals, and this is one of the processes of how I set goals. I went all in depth about that in Focus Book 2, Smart Focus Book 2, how to use focus, okay? So I went all over how to use Trello and how I use it, and this is one of the ways I do to set and try to achieve goals, is when you can actually track it and have measurable progress, like the first book talked about. You can see things getting done, and it's kind of a snowball effect. It rewards you. It kind of gives you that dopamine rush of, wow, this is a good feeling. I want this more. And so that's pretty cool. You can see my Patreon page here for Trello. That will give you access to that at the very first level. You can have access to that at the fiddle level. But there's even more boards that I have. If I go back to this, you can see that I have, if it will show up, I have tons of boards here that I create in my business that I use. Right now, the top of my list is my Patreon because I'm working hard to build that. So I've got all kinds of things, different ideas, different YouTube ideas, different Twitch ideas, personal productivity, business tasks that need to be done. And you won't get access to all the boards because some of them probably don't even really, aren't relevant to you. But the ones that I think that you probably would find beneficial and would like to see some behind the scenes of how I do my work. And probably the boards that I use the most, because some of them just sit there until I need another idea or something, then I go in there and enter it. You'll be able to see those. I haven't put that in there yet. Like I said, I'm still populating the perks, so be patient. So there's a post there, and you won't be able to see it unless you're actually logged in as far as I'm aware of. Now, I was kind of worried about it because as I go down here, this is a brand new album. Well, it's brand new for everybody here on Patreon and probably to you on YouTube. Me and Kenneth Burris, this video that we did, this little thumbnail you can see, is of a video that we did several years ago, 2014 maybe, and it's very close to getting 300,000 views. It's sitting at like 260-something thousand right now, and it's my second most popular video of all time. People are just consuming this video like crazy. And you can go to my YouTube page and type in Kenneth Burris for that, and that's 2 R's and 1 S for Burris. And you'll be able to see what's going on there. But most of you probably already know what that is. They have sit there. People have watched this video and commented. There's hundreds of comments on there about how they love this video and they like to sit and jam along with it. It's a fun video to play along with. And after he left, he came back maybe a year later, and we decided we wanted to do an album together. And that's exactly what we did. Well, as this explains, actually, before we get to that, here's one that's actually available to the public. I decided to make one available to the public, one track, Where the Soul Never Dies. It was kind of in the spirit of Tony Rice and Ricky Skaggs, what they were doing, although it's 2 guitars instead of guitar and mandolin. And this one will explain a little bit more about the history of this album. Basically, in a nutshell, Kenneth, the computer he had died. He was working on mixing the album, and he was in like the final stages. And it died. But luckily, he was able to get me the tracks before the computer and all the data was lost. So I've always had these for the last several years and hadn't a clue what to do with them. So with me, I decided, this Patreon is amazing for stuff like this. Little, archive stuff that you don't feel like is, really right now I don't feel it's worthy to be released as an EP because it was still in the mixing stages. It wasn't finalized. So you'll be able to hear through these tracks, if you're a patron at the $5 level or more, you'll be able to hear at these tracks. Some of them are louder than others. Sometimes the vocals are louder. Sometimes the guitars are a little quieter. And what I'd like to do eventually is go back and use waveform, what I've been using to mix my own album. I'd like to use waveform to remix this and try to make the soft parts stand out. Try to there's a lot of bass that I don't think he remembered to put a high pass filter on. So I've got to get on there and fix that. So I've got multi-band EQ and compression. I figured I could probably work with it that way. Maybe do a little research on how to do that. But I want to get my album done first, obviously. But anyway, you'll be able to get all these. Now, this comes as an attachment, and you can also listen to one of the tracks here. You can only add one audio track at a time, and instead of individually adding these, I figured I'd add them as attachments. They are in WAV, so they are high quality. And if you need to, you can convert them to MP3 or whatever for your device. And so this one is public, Where the Soul Never Dies. But I'm excited about this album. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever collaborated on or ever done. My favorite one is track number 9. There's Power in the Blood of the Lamb. Now, this is a medley. There's Power in the Blood. Are You Washed in the Blood of the Lamb? Another medley we have is Just Over in the Glory Land Way, which is Just Over in the Glory Land and The Glory Land Way. I'm in the Glory Land Way. And several instrumentals on here. Those are 2. We got some other ones, I think. No, I think that's that. Technically, there's 10 tracks, but there's 12 songs in all because of that medley. So you got basically 4 instrumentals, and the rest of them are good gospel hymns. Now, this album is called Hymns for Home, as you can see right here. And we wanted to call it something that, that was special to us. These are hymns that we grew up with, hymns that we, continually refer back to and we love. And maybe one day we can come back together and do another project like this. Now that I actually do recording in my home studio. We actually recorded this in my home studio, but it was on his computer. And so he took it back home to Indiana and worked on it. So that's just a little bit about that. And let's see, we've got a banjo level. I dare you to keep up. You know how fast banjos are. By the way, each perk you get all the previous perks with it. You get all the previous packages. So the banjo will be able to have all the previous tier perks, everything that we've already mentioned. And that's the way, Patreon works. Fretboard diagrams. These are some of the diagrams that I use just for my private students that I continually refer back to. And I wanted to find a way to release them to the public but I don't really teach guitar online for beginners. And this would be some great beginner resources learning guitar. And then you have the Bluegrass Band tier, which is $30 or more per month. The gang is all here. Now, I didn't want to list every single instrument because I'd have like 10 different perk levels, and I didn't want to do that. I've already got enough as it is. So this is the whole band. The gang's all here. This is for you, those who are thirsty to learn how to play blindingly fast solos, die-hard rhythm, and proficient picking, and more. Now, if you've already got my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, Udemy, it's on Udemy. It's my webisodes. If you've already got one of those or several of those, this is including the whole digital pack, not just one or two webisodes, the whole thing on webisode form, which is you have to have a Udemy account to access that, which is not really a big deal. Udemy is free, and you have lifetime access to it after that. And you get all that too as well, the previous perks. The bonus tier is you get a physical copy along with the digital copy of Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. I will mail you that. When you sign up for that, it will ask you for your shipping address, and you'll be able to enter that information, and then we can contact each other, and I can let you know what the shipping process is and all this. The buyer does pay shipping. That's just the way it works, and if you live in the U.S., it's very cheap. It's something like $8 or something like that. It's when you're overseas that it gets a little more expensive because of customs and all this other stuff. But that's available. There's no digital version of Texas Blues Guitar, which is going to happen in my next perk. That's bonus tier number 1. I'll send you stuff. And then bonus tier number 2, I send you even more stuff. You're going to get Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, the first one. Not the first one, the previous perk I just mentioned. You're going to get Bluegrass Guitar Essentials on DVD, on digital, and Texas Blues Guitar on either DVD or USB. I recently created the USB version, which is, to me, kind of the equivalent of the digital version, because you can download they come on a USB drive. It's a thumb drive that has all the files on there that you can view on your computer or whatever digitally. The only difference is that it's not instant access. It still has to be shipped. Once again, that's very cheap shipping if you're in the U.S. lower 48. But you can read all about more of these and as we go along. All right. Now, I just noticed my Dave Say. Dave Say is one of my favorite dudes on YouTube right now, because he has got so many ideas for being productive that it's just not even funny. And I use his, probably getting off topic here, but we were talking about goals a while ago. I use his Emergent Task Planner. And let me see if I can do this within, yes, good, it works. Emergent Task Planner for helping me be productive. And usually this is when I don't know or have too many things on my plate, or I don't know what I'm going to be working on that day. I haven't actually needed to use it in a while because I've kind of had in my mind exactly what I wanted to do. But I go back to this frequently. Now, he's got it in individual sheets. The quality of the paper is amazing. It's very thick. And it's very, very thick. And it doesn't bleed through. I haven't had one bleed through yet. But I use it really good for timing myself. And he uses, his philosophy is the 15 minutes. And just yesterday, we got back from Chattanooga on a trip with some field trip for a school. And I found this timer. I've always wanted an hourglass. And this is a 15-minute timer from what we've been able to guess. But this is upside down because it's the aquarium there we went to, and it's in water. And if you can see that, you see the little sand grains or whatever that is moving up. And so his 15 minutes, whenever I see this filling up, I know my time, it's time to take a break or move on to the next 15-minute block. And that's what the little bubbles on the Emergent Task Planner are for. So I can point those out. There's little bubbles right up here that are filled in. You can see some of them filled in. Those are 15 minutes apiece. And that helps you, make small victories. And if you can make small victories, they turn into big wins, okay? So check out Dave Say as well on Patreon. He's got a whole productive suite that he offers, full of awesome graphic design, not graphic design, but he's a graphic designer, full of tools he's created just like the Emergent Task Planner that you'll be blown away at how good he is. So shout out to Dave for all the great stuff he does. Okay, so what I wanted to do today mainly is show you guys what I'm going to be populating Patreon with. I have a whole list of things that's over here to the side. If you can see, let me go back here to Patreon music perks. I've got Patreon other perks and Patreon vid perks. Nothing happening there right now. And here's all the different banners, which I've recently just released yesterday. Okay, so you can see now if you go to my social media accounts, at least for the time being, it'll show you exactly where my Patreon is located. Very happy to play around with that. I used Canva to play on that. And then I've got all these perks that I'm going to add for the music level. This is for the mandolin level. So that's going to get the most love for right now because that's what I have the most to offer for right now. And as I find other things like in the vault and everything, we'll be able to give you guys more concerning that. So if I go back, if I go back to where I was, I have to stop for the kitty. I forgot to mention, we have posts. This is where you can find all the perks to the Patrons. This is where they will be posted. You can filter by tags, I'm assuming, and maybe even by reward level. Let's check that out. All right, let's see if we filter. We don't want all posts. Let's see if we can filter. Will it let me filter? I guess I can't click off all posts. And it's not letting me click filter. I'm guessing these are different featured tags that I've used so far that I've put to the forefront because they're the ones I'm probably going to be using the most of right now. And you got other tags down here you can filter from. I guess that's the filter that you can do. Here's all posts, and then you can use your filter down here. I don't know why you can't click that, but it's down here. And you can do the type here. You can filter by the month that they came out, which I'm starting this in, you know. Oh, the reason the tiers aren't listed yet is because I haven't added anything to those yet. Okay, so. And then we have my Patreon exclusive community just for patrons. People like you who decide to support me by being a Patreon, by being a patron. That's going to be very awkward to say both of those. So this post here was actually supposed to be on the community. So let's see if I can change that. There was a post here that I said, welcome patrons. So let's actually go ahead. And it says patrons only. Let me switch cameras here just in case it reveals something that's only for Patreon patrons. I'll get to the chat in a moment. If you're trying to chat with me, I'm kind of like a deer in headlights, just blinders on, full speed ahead. So I'll get to you guys here in just a minute. A little bit of lunch first. My pizza's already cold. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, okay, nothing special here. All right, so I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to go back. That is patrons only. But I'm going to go back to the actual posts. I guess when you click post here, it's going to show this, but these are actual patron posts and not the community tab. So we're going to put another one of these on the community tab. All right. And it does need to be patrons only. So I need to actually put it where it needs to belong though, because it's not technically a reward or one of the perk things. As far as frequency of putting rewards on here, I'm going to be working on that today. But after I get, enough populated, I'll try to probably release some of these once or twice a month, depending on how many things I have. Now, I don't know how ongoing it's going to be. I'd like for it to continue to be ongoing because I want to create more music. I want to be able to sit down and have this. This gives me so much creative liberty and so much creative freedom and incentive to sit down and start, coming up with, different songs, different tracks, ideas that I can poll my readers for. And say, hey, I've got these different. I even thought about this different audio ideas that I want to work on. Which one of these would you like to turn into a song? That would be awesome. So before I forget that, I'm going to go to my Trello board. So you are already seeing how I do my work here. I get so much over in a tangent. Miscellaneous patron ideas. I may have actually wrote this somewhere else, but I'm not worried about that right now. I want to get it while it's on my head. So that was ask poll patrons for turning traction song ideas into actual songs. And I try to make that as clear as possible, because when I go back and read it, I want to be able to understand what I meant. And for me, that's an aha moment. Now, those are this is what I've decided to label this. And the cool thing is on Trello, you can click this, and it will expand to show you what each one of these mean. Okay? Now, if you didn't know that, I actually found that on accident. But I know what they mean by color, so I don't have to take up even more space. So, poll patrons for turning traction song snippets. Let's change it snippets, because I want to be as clear as possible. Traction song snippets into actual songs. And then for a more detailed description, like the ones you record out of the blue from your Digitech RP355 and Donner Looper pedals. All right, so that's even more. So now I can see these little icons down here. This means I have a description. This means I have some comments that I wanted to add. This is noteworthy instructions. This label it means. Like I said, you can click on it or you can hover and it will tell you what it means. In other words, to me, it's a thing to myself to let me know there's some really great comments in here that I don't want to forget about. And also, let's see, there might be times where you might not be able to find what you're wanting to find, like a card that existed before but doesn't. I have the opportunity and the ability, if I need to, if I see it's some kind of, redundant, some cards are redundant, I can go in there and remove those cards, archive them, if you will, and they'll disappear off the board. But I can always go back and access them if I need them. That's one great thing about Trello. Okay, so let's go back to my post here. See, this is what confuses me. I've already created this post, but let's just do it again. Let's see what happens, because I want it to be in the community area. This should say something about community. I don't know why it doesn't. Now, okay, and I want to add that same image that I had. Ain't she cute? All right, that is let me find it. Oh, yeah. Pictures. Sorry if you can hear me chewing. I think it's the last one here. Yeah, I need that image. I'm going to confirm that there, and we'll say welcome patrons. 5 tags: community, patron only. Really nothing more to add on there. Perks, and that's pretty much it. So this is going to be patrons only, and that's at any level. And I can either schedule it, I can save it as a draft, and I can also set early access, which is cool, because if I have something like an album I'm about to release or a video I'm about to release, then I can allow my patrons to have first access to that before it releases 3 days later, or a certain number of days, how many days I decide, a certain number of days later, for them to be able to see firsthand, since they are supporting me through Patreon. Now, this will be great if I decide to do any writing things, because then I can release books early, before they even release on Amazon or wherever, before I even release the publication of them. But right now, I'm good with patrons only. And let's see where this appears, because I want it to be in the community, and I don't know why it didn't show up in the community before. And it looks like it's saving. It's going to redirect me, and I'm going to have cold pizza. Welcome patrons. Okay, now, where is it? Is it in community? Where I told it to be. No. Why does it do that? Oh, I just seen. Your patrons haven't posted anything yet. I guess these are patrons to make their first post. I don't know. Because I just posted and it did not show. So these must be posts from me, and these are posts from the community. I'm not sure yet whether I can reply to comments and post on the community. I hope I can, because that's how we're going to kind of communicate, you know. So hopefully I can do that. I don't. If that's the case, I don't need 2 of these. Community, first post, public welcome. Patron only perks. Okay, I'll just delete this one because I don't need that on there twice. The other one has the, first of all, what's that other tag? Patron only, perks. So now you're seeing what I'm wanted to delve into right now, which is, you know, getting the Patreon page updated. Community, first post. I've forgot those tags, perks and something else. I've got room for one more, so let's add it. Community. Well, the cool thing is, since I've added it, it kind of remembers in the system those perks, the posts that I've added and the tags that I've added, and it will kind of auto-fill those in for me if I need to. It's starting to get a little hot. I'm about to turn the air on. But anyway, let's see. Let's add another one. Perks. Well, maybe it doesn't remember that. That'll be good right there. All right. This is just for patrons because in the overview, if you check that out, I already have a welcome message to everybody to the general page and what the page is about. And so it's not, you know, patron specific. Okay, so let me go ahead and go back to the chat, see what's going on, see what everybody has said, and see how many people are watching. And 3 are watching now, okay. We have some comments. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys for commenting. Let me just check this out. Jens Larson. Great that you're on Patreon. It's a great place to hang out with people who are really interested. Thanks, Jens, for that comment. Somebody asked me the other day if I had a Patreon page. And you know what? Let me answer this other comment here. Hey, Eric, I always wondered where you were from. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Dan Tominski? Yes, I have heard that before. Thank you, Tristan, for the comment. I have heard that I look like Dan Tominski. I've heard that I sound like Dan Tominski. And so, yeah, I've heard all those different things happening. Trying to see here. I've got several drop frames. I hope I'm coming in loud and clear here, because it says it's green on OBS. That's what I'm using, Open Broadcaster software to stream with. But I've got 0.9% of drop frames, and the CPU is at 39% of power that I've been using through streaming, and I've only getting 22 frames a second. I've never really figured out the best way to use OBS. The only reason I use it right now is because I've got these screen switching capabilities like this. You know, I can switch to different screens. That's really, and plus I can edit on the fly. That's amazing, but I'm using a Mac Mini 2011 model, and so that may be one of the reasons why, which is why I have listed as one of my high goals, if you'll look on my Patreon page, a new computer so that I can do better things faster and have more fun doing this instead of more aggravation trying to do it. So here, let's see. Thank you, Jens, for commenting on that, because that reminded me. I want to go back to my YouTube account, and I want to go to the community in the comments section, because somebody asked me about Patreon and if I had an account. It may have been you, and if so, I'm going to go back and answer that comment with a reply saying, hey, now I've got a Patreon page. That way other people will be able to see it as well. Gotta wait for this to happen. For some reason, it's taking a while. Poor kitty. She gets in all kinds of positions. All right, here we go. In case you're wondering, I'm using Vivaldi, which is the browser of choice now. I've been using it now for a couple months maybe, and I prefer it over Chrome. It can't do some things that Chrome does well, like Chromecast. I have a Chromecast, and I have to always open Chrome to do that. For some reason, Vivaldi hasn't figured out a good way to do that. But look, I've got all these thumbnails. I can have multiple tabs within one tab. Check that out. I can tile the tabs, have it like all the tabs on one screen, and work, productively within all of them. There's all kinds of other things that are really good about Vivaldi, so I definitely recommend you check those guys out. So let me do a search for Patreon, because that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Man, I was looking forward to hot pizza. Oh well. All right, Patrick Foy. Do you have a Patreon account? All right, thought about doing one. Haven't really set one up. Blah, blah, blah. Let me reply back to that now. All right. So now that's there. Awesome. I don't know what the deal was with this, why it was doing this whole skipping thing of lines. So there's my comments. Now let's see here. Let me go back to my live dashboard. All right. We got 4 people watching. All right, guys. I'm going to take just a quick second to hopefully not disturb the cat. She may move. If she does, she'll be back. And go warm my pizza up, all right, so I can enjoy what I'm doing. And also, I need to check to make sure everybody is hearing me well and that there's no lag or anything like that. So let me change my settings here. All right. Hopefully that worked. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And we're going to just move this over to the scene. So I'll be right back and warm my pizza up, and we'll get started on populating some of this Patreon stuff. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll get started on All right, now we are back. No further comments since I left. Still watching for. Thank you guys. I am back now. And I'm going to do something real quick so that I can kind of keep an eye on the chat. What I'd like to do is put it over here while I'm working on the actual screen to my side, maybe, what I'm doing here. So what I need to do is I need to add another source. Let's this time make it a browser source. And I'm going to call it YouTube Live Chat. All right, we're back. Hopefully it's the same location. It looks like it's probably going to be two different videos. So what I would say is this is part 2 of the live stream. And so that's cool. All right, so this, I didn't think to save my, that may be why it crashed. I didn't think to save. Kitty's bathing. What I was doing here. So let's go back up here. And put her back in her little corner. Well, you're just a little bigger. Why not? And now, hopefully this won't kill it again. Do I have the YouTube? I don't see it. Let's add a browser source here and call it live chat. And hopefully it won't freeze. Cross your fingers. Alright, URL is going to be, let's see. What is that going to be? Let me see. View on watch page. Where's that at? Right there. Copy link address. That's the watch page. The width, it doesn't matter because I'm going to resize it. And let's see what happens. Hopefully it will appear. There we go. So the watch page, I can see what's going on. Hopefully, let's hope that I'm not. Right there. Copy link address. Okay. Might have to do something different then because that's not showing up right. It's going to be playing my watch page stuff. So I don't know exactly how to cause that to be muted. All I want is the, I'll tell you what I'll do. I wonder if I can interact. Interact. I want to interact with that. I want to tell this to mute. Bingo. Awesome. Now we're muted. Okay. So I can get my desktop audio going back. What I want to do is go down to the chat here. And I'm going to have to interact again. I don't want the video. I don't know why I can't see the video. Let me actually go to the page on my thing here. The watch page. Try to eat my pizza while it's still hot. I'll show you this here in just a minute. I have to move this so I'll remember to show it to you. Why is it not scrolling down is what I want to know. I need it to scroll down so I can view this. Man, not doing it right. Sorry guys, please don't leave just because of this aggravation. Yeah, for some reason. Let me see if I can make the height a little more. Let's do that. We'll just make the height 800. Let's see what happens. Because I can get rid of the top. I don't need the top. I just need the chat. And it's not showing up like it would normally. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the width. Let me see if I can get the width going a little wider. Let's make the width 1,000. There we go. Yeah, the chat's going to show up on the side like it needs to be. Okay. That's all I need. Well, maybe not. Hopefully that's all I need. We'll see. Interact. See, I can't scroll. It's not letting me scroll. So how in the world? There's the chat. That's what I need. Okay, I don't need to scroll then. I just need to move this over. Make the height a little bit higher. No, the height is fine. The height is fine. I just need to get that crop off there. That's the problem. I had to crop where it cropped the video earlier. So we'll do that. We'll get this coming over. I won't need that. And then hopefully that'll populate and I can get back to what I'm doing. Alright, so now I'll be able to kind of look over to the side and see when the chat's happening. So we will do that. And to make this work, I'm going to put it above this. And I'm going to shrink it to about kitty size and bring it down here where kitty is. Just like that. Now, and I won't need the top chat and all that, so I'll get rid of that. Let's just make as much space as possible here. Alright, so that should take care of that. Hopefully. Alright. Now, let's get back to the work at hand. You should make a video. Tristan says you should make a video about lead playing in C. Funny that you mentioned that. You need to check out my YouTube page. I've got lead licks in... Well, I think I got them in D and G. I don't know if I have one in C or not. But if you'll look up playing in C or something like that, I'm sure you'll be able to find something. I did a whole section in my Bluegrass Guitar Essential course about playing in C and D and G. Those are what I call the 3 essential keys in Bluegrass Guitar Essentials. So that's you can check that out for more information about that. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to start populating a lot of my Patreon perks, okay? So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to go to my Trello board here. You kind of have to hover over this to get to the board you want to go to. Oh, before I do that, what I want to show you is this is an old cassette. Okay, now this is way back in the day. Talk about archives and tracks in the vault. This is one of the reasons Patreon is so amazing, because you can resurrect some of this stuff and make it live. Now this is cassette, as you can see. But this is, take a gander, way back in the day, me, my 2 stepbrothers, and my sister had a group called the Heavenly Travelers. And we made this back in 1996, I believe. And this is our very first album together. And I've been wanting to put this on digital for the longest and be able to do that. Yeah, this is 1996. This was recorded at Crystal Studios, Crystal Incorporated in Hickson, Tennessee. And how I'm going to do this is I don't really want to move the kitty cam. So let's see what I can do here instead. I can move some of this stuff around. What I'm actually going to do is use a device called a cassette player that I think I bought way back when at Radio Shack when they used to be in business. And it's got a headphone jack. And that headphone jack I'm connecting directly through RCA cable to a Behringer. It's called a Uphono UFO 202 audio interface. Okay, so this connects via USB to my computer, and then I can use programs like Audacity or Traction to record what is playing on this. And so that's what I will be using to record many of my old cassettes that I have, just like that one. And that's the only album that I have is the Heavenly Travelers one. But looky here, I've got loads. This is an old box full of cassettes. I gotta find that. Here they are. And these cassettes, some of them are of old practice sessions when I was a teenager. Okay, like 20 years ago. And these are all cassettes that I recorded of different revival sermons and things like that when I used to go to different revival places. My dad used to pastor and we used to travel a lot and evangelize. I've got all kinds of stuff in here of little skits that me and my brother used to make. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not, but to me they were funny at the time. They may seem like cheesy now when I go back. But I've got me jamming on my RP, Digitech RP80, way back in the day. Distortion test, random playing by me. Me jamming out at Grandma's. Now this is back in 2001. Okay, so this is when I first got my Stratocaster electric guitar, the blue one, Little Blues that I've got. And then different other things. I got different sermons and different things like that. I'm not going to be uploading those to Patreon, but because they're not my sermons, they're other people's sermons that I used to, listen to. But just different things like that. Different practice sessions I used to have. I wish I still had a video of me playing when I first started playing guitar. This is the earliest I can remember playing guitar. It was 1994, and that's because I was actually playing an Alan Jackson song, and I can't remember what it was. It was popular back then, I think. If I thought about it long enough, it'd come back to me. But I was actually pretty proficient on guitar at that time, so I can only assume that I started learning at least a year before that. So about 93 is when I can pinpoint when I first started learning guitar. And so that's what I consider, when I first started. So I've been learning 25 years now, and I've been playing guitar 25 years, so that's awesome. So one of the things I need to do is actually create a launch, email list to let people know that my page is launched now. But anyway, what I'm going to do right now is kind of populate the Patreon a little bit more and let that happen. Okay. All right. So back to this. So that was kind of a tangent, wasn't it? Anything new? I don't think so. Let's see here. I don't remember what I wanted to go back to Trello for. I was going to start populating the Patreon page with cool new stuff. Oh well, let's just start doing that. Alright, so here's what we got. Oh, I know. Let's see. I know what it was. It's the other idea that I had that I want to start working on next. I'm trying to populate each tier with something as much as I can. And so I need to find the music ideas here. Practice sessions. I can do a find on this page. Nothing there. Nothing there. Okay. So let's just put this in progress. I wish you could, already make it a label instead of do all these clicks. and it would already assign it. All right, so that's the next up. I'm going to have access to more special Trello boards later as I can figure out which ones I want to give you access to. In addition to that album, I actually have some bonus tracks where we went to a church service years ago and played some of these tracks live in the church service. So I wanted to include those as well. Those will be coming out later after you've had enough time to absorb the album itself, Hymns from Home. And Kitty is stirring. What is going on? She loves to just plop down on plastic bags. And these are actually my plastic bags for my trash can, which is just inside. There's a door under here. It's just inside there. But she is just going to stretch out there, and we'll try to adjust this so we can see her better. There we go. There she is. All right, so neck diagrams. I need to add some of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my page here, and I'll go to other perks because I've got an alias here. These are all aliases. This is kind of like my checklist of what I need to add. So we're going to put an alias here, and actually I need to open that in a new tab. And these are all these are diagrams that I've created via a program called Neck Diagrams. Amazing program. Makes it so easy to create neck diagrams for, products. This is what I use exclusively for my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials neck diagrams, the charts in that, and that's what I'll be using from now on. Just makes things so much easier. So let's look at what I want to do first. I've got this is where all the course for the the different diagrams are for Bluegrass Guitar Essentials videos and things like that. What I need to do though is find the ones for here, my actual students. Okay, basically beginner chords. That's the template chord intervals. Don't want to do that one yet. Here's the old ones. And I think I'll do the original and the new ones. These are all I have right now. So far, I've had only 4 sheets that I've given to private students because that's as far as they've gotten. And then usually after that, I'll say, okay, now it's time to buy a chord book. And we'll go from there because all that material is already there. And the chord book I always go to and recommend. Give me a second and I'll show it to you. Is this one. It's called Guitar Chords Deluxe by Hal Leonard. I really highly recommend this book because it has all kinds of resources about how chords work, chord theory, music theory, chord formulas, how to create chords, and different things like that. Plus, it's got over 1,600 chords in different styles, different voicings all up and down the neck. So it's a really good chord book. I really highly recommend it. Now, I told a student the other day that it's funny how all these people try to brag on how many chords these books have. This one says full color photos and diagrams for over 1,600 chords. And I look at that and I say, yeah, that's all right. But I have a chord book. In its 6th printing was in May of 1973. This I found in my grandpa's old stack of books that he used to have years ago when he passed away. This chord book has 7,488 guitar chords. Beat that. I mean, check that out. All these chords. Page after page. Look how thick that is. That is a thick book. I have cherished this book. I've had it for years, and right now it's really hard to get it. It's really hard to get a hold of a copy of this because it's out of print. And you're looking to spend, upwards of $100 or more probably for it if you try to go on eBay or something. So, yeah. But let's go to these diagrams now. And the cool thing is I've located them here, but I don't have to drag them and drop them. I can go right within Patreon. And get the right screen back. I can go right within Patreon and start creating a post just for this tier. Okay. So let's go ahead and create a post. Right up here is my post thing. Eat my pizza because it will get cold again. Well, I nuked it twice. And you know how it is. Your crust turns into a rock if you do that. Drinking some, I think it's natural Kool-Aid. It's got like beet, powdered for the color. I don't know, I got it at Aldi's. And put some Splenda in it, off-brand Splenda. Saves on calories. All right, so what I need to do is I need to add some files. And these are, I guess they're images. I guess I could maybe attach something. Yeah. I love that you can live stream as well. That's so cool. I can live stream straight through my Patreons. Looking forward to looking at that, to messing around with that. And you can add attachments. So instead of an image, I'll tell you what, let's take a screenshot of it. Here's how I do all my images, a lot of them. We're going to start with this. I'm going to take a screenshot, which is for a Mac is Command-Shift-4, and that way you can drag and drop to what you want to see. And I'll just do a little teaser of an image. And I've got too much white space at the top, so let's try this again, right about there. All right, now we can get out of there, select the image file, and maybe drag and drop since it's got a little thing here, but I'm just going to go ahead and select it. Desktop. By the way, I was talking about Dave say a while ago, his production suite, massive. This is his mega pack. All this stuff is a lot of his planners that he's created, different productivity tools he's created. Amazing stuff. I didn't even get a chance to go through it all yet. I mean, there's just so much awesome good stuff there. Anyway, back on track. Screenshots. And then we'll go ahead and open that one because that's what we want to use for the teaser. And we're going to say basic chord sheets for private students. If I can spell. Or if I can spell, it's just if I can type. Alright, we're going to add those as attachments, and only patrons of the, what'd I say? I think it was $10 or more. $10 level. The guitar level, I think, will be able to view this. So let me go to my neck diagrams backups. Students, or no, chords. Basic chords 1 through 4. I'll do my favorite as a different one because I haven't really given those out yet to any students. That'd be good to give out. And I'll put private students. No, I'll do that here in just a second. You'll see what I'm doing. All right, now I got to type in some text. Let's see, successfully completing. Okay, so 412 times 4 is 48. Yeah. All 48 of these basic chords. Basic beginner chords. Okay. I keep forgetting that you only have to hit return once. Let's add an image. I'm going to go ahead and go to Amazon and get a, or not Amazon, but just do a search for Howler Guitar Chords Deluxe. Hopefully you guys can still hear me here. Right here. Actually, I'll just do a search for it now. I'll just right click and search for it. Instead of opening it in a new page, it'll just open it up for me. Alright, let's see here. Let me do a quick search for that. This is running slowly because of the streaming. Oh, lukewarm. And what I want to do is find an image. See, this is the kind of behind the scenes stuff I'm talking about. You get to see me work on my business and how I collect and find things and do different things like this. Kitty's still napping nicely. Hey, let me know in the chat if you like the kitty cam. What do you think about that? Never thought about that, but she does hang out there where all the bags are. I may have to keep doing that when I stream like this. So I need an image, and there's one that's perfect. So usually, for long days like this, because being self-employed and working from home, I tend to sit down a lot and don't get up. And, okay, we probably, it looks kind of off center. I don't know why. Let's check the other one. That's from Amazon. Let's just use that one. We will copy the link address because I think you can do that within Patreon. Yeah, awesome. Conform. Or not. Okay, so it's going to be like that. Let's do this again. Let's actually open the image in a new tab, I guess. There, that's what we're looking for. We want that JPEG extension there. Now we can close the tab back. And add the image. Confirm. And the cool thing is I can resize it. I think. I should be able to anyway. Nope. Well, let me the other day. I don't know what's going on now. I probably don't have that many options of this, but that'll be fine. 5 tags. Neck diagrams. Chord sheets. Beginner. Guitar. Fretboard. Diagrams. Guitar, chord theory, maybe. All right, so, and we've attached those already. We will make those available for patrons at the, let me double check because I can't remember. Tell you what, let's just open that in a new tab. And that will help me have a reference here. Going mighty slow today. All right, I'm going to do a find. That way I don't have to keep all this scrolling. Fretboard diagrams. So this should be, I think. Ooh, I may be wrong. It's the banjo. All right, banjo level. So let's add the banjo level here. That's the 20 or more, I do believe. Double check. Yeah. All right. 20 or more. I can schedule it, like I said, but I'm going to publish it now. That way, if people decide to pledge at that level, they will have access to something. Once again. All right, so that's one more tier down, gone. Don't have to worry about that. So let's go to my Trello board and knock that one off. And this is the private student neck diagrams. That one is now done, so let's mark it as complete. Actually, I got to take the in progress off because I'm about to move it. There'll be more deck diagrams as I can think of them. But for now, that's what we've got. I'll just move that over here to the top. And we're good. It's usually not this slow. It's just because I'm running OBS and streaming and all this other stuff. Okay, matter of fact, let's see how the stream is doing. Because I want to make sure that it's still doing okay. Okay, we're still streaming good. Elapsed time. The cool thing is the stream died on me earlier, as you know. But it's still counting this as streaming. So hopefully this is going to be one seamless vid and it's not going to be 2 of them. I don't know for sure. Okay, yep, nothing else lately, so I don't think there's that I know of. I don't know if there's a way to actually, hopefully that will move as it goes. All right, so everything's looking good still. Thumbnail, create thumbnail. Still got 3 people watching. Thank you guys for watching. This is, yes, going to be Pokemon Blogs public. And all right, so we'll go back. Now, we've got that one done. I'll do some more neck diagrams later. I just want to get that one done. Let's look at the next tier. I think it's going to be bonus tiers now. No, it's not going to be bonus. We still have the gang's all here tier that I need to fulfill. So let's go to my other page and see what those requirements are. this is where you have the digital version of my webisodes. Now, unfortunately, I can't show this live because I'll have to create special coupons codes. So, I may have to do that later. And don't want to give those coupon codes to everybody here on YouTube to see. So, may have to do that later. By the way, when this video, when I'm done with this hangout, this live stream, I'll go ahead and post it on Patreon as well. That way you guys can see it on there. So from here on, it's just bluegrass guitar essentials, things like that. And yeah, pretty much this is it for what I'm doing. So this is the kind of stuff I want to do, guys. I just want to be able to do some hangouts with patrons. And, you know, just populate some of this stuff. Let me show you, let me just go ahead and add another perk before we close out. Give you something else that I'm doing here. So I need to go back to the actual page. And add another post. So once again, this is music related. So let's find something in the music section. That was from neck diagrams. I'll get to those later again. So I'm just going to close that out. I'm done with that. And we'll go up. I wish I had some video. Do I have some video I can add? That would be awesome. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some videos here. Let's go to movies. I mean, I'm working on one now, but I have to wait to be able to put it up because I'm still editing it. All right. Movie events. Video. Okay, it could be an attachment, I guess. I don't think I have anything. I don't think I do. See, I used to, but then my hard drive crashed. And so I lost all those files, my external hard drive. So I got a lot of those files that are gone. So I don't really have anything right now. But this is like, I thought I had something, I guess not. Maybe it's on my laptop. This is like when I sit down and have a practice session, or I want to write a song, or other things, you know, or screencasts of, you know, me working on my tracks. Similar to the stuff I was doing on Twitch, which I probably am not going to be focusing much on anymore because just, I don't know, the streaming is just too out of whack. It's too hard to maintain on Twitch at least. So all kinds of issues with that and problems. So, so I guess what I'll do is instead of the video thing right now, we'll just go ahead and go back to adding one more music perk. Let's do some rendered. Anything rendered? Nope. That's some things I've had with traction. Now, if I open that up, it will mess the CPU up. YouTube performances audio. Okay. That's the audio for that. Show original. Okay, that's the MP3. Okay, I see what's going on. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do an audio of some electric guitar stuff. So I'm going to release an audio here. And this is going to be of a video that I did on YouTube, which you can see a little clip of if you go to the intro page on my Patreon. select that up to 200 megs. That's not too bad. Let's go to, I think it's music, my recordings. Ibanez right there. And as far as the artwork, I'm going to go here to my actual video manager and find the thumbnail for that, because I think I've long since trashed it. I see Kitty is still doing well. I have any comment? Okay, good. I got some comments now. Let me check these out. If it'll not be froze. Please don't be froze. And it desperately wants to rain outside right now. Okay. Jurgenim 1991. Hello from Belgium. Hello from Tennessee, USA. I've been a subscriber for quite a bit. I never comment on your videos, but now that I can get you live, I want to say thanks for all those videos. Sorry for my English. You're fine. Great English, ma'am. Wow. Hello from Nagoya, Japan. Now, I hear Japanese people love bluegrass. And that's really cool that you guys do. So, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching and checking out my Patreon page and this live stream today. Definitely go back and check out the whole video. Hopefully, it's just going to be one video instead of two videos, part 1 and part 2, because it kind of the stream crashed on me earlier. And I'm going to have to figure out what YouTube's specific settings are for streaming so I can type those into OBS as well and get kind of a good balance between Twitch and YouTube. All right, so let me go back to what I'm doing here with the thumbnails. I need to find this. I'll search my video. And I'll type in Flying Fingers because that's the video I'm looking for. It was a contest entry that I performed last year for Ibanez's annual Flying Fingers competition. And I didn't place or anything, but I had a lot of fun learning this new chord progression and everything. So the backing track is actually from Ibanez, and the lead is from me doing this. And so I'll include the link to the video as well so you can watch it as well as listen to it there. Since it's a public video and not a special video, I'm not going to put it on my $10 level because it's out there for everybody to see anyway if you just search for it. So it's not that special. And then after this, we'll close the stream down because it really is slowing down my computer. Okay, so I'm just going to go edit here. I'm going to go ahead and click the copy this link because that's what we need for putting it in the post. Wow, I'm so amazed that people from Japan and Belgium, all over the world, are watching this. I know I have people in different countries that are subscribed. It's really cool. Okay, so I can download this this image. It'll let me download it if I want to. Lately though, when I download it, it's just not been working. It may be because I'm using Vivaldi. Like I said, it's not as streamlined as Chrome is with certain things. We'll see. Maybe it'll let me download it once it loads. I like that you'll be able to see the live chat as it happens through the video when this video replays. I like that YouTube is incorporating that. That's a pretty cool little trick, little perk there of its own. Okay, I'm not going to worry about downloading that. I'm just going to take a screenshot. And usually this is how I do my social media posts. I'll just screenshot the video's image. And then you just heard the snapshot probably. And then we'll go back to Patreon. The add optional artwork. Because it's not an acoustic guitar by any means. It's not an acoustic guitar audio. we go. Good deal. All right, now we're going to add the actual. Do I need to download that? I guess I could. Let's go ahead and add the audio file. Why not? Go back to my recordings. There it is. Add that. So I've got all these different things that I've done that I can incorporate on Patreon. Is that nice? Now, if you're interested in what I'm using here, this is called Clip Menu for Mac. It hosts all these different, up to, I think, up to 30 or more recent links so that you don't have to keep copying and pasting everywhere. It's all hosted in here. And also, you can add your own little snippets by going to the preferences, clicking on snippets, and just start, making your own snippets of things that you use a lot. Frequent different things that you use quite a bit. So it's a really cool little app. So I need to make this into a link. I'll go ahead and do that. Confirm it. And let's go ahead and preview it because I want to preview the link. I want to make sure that it's the right one. Goodness. Man, Little Caesars is the bomb. Their crazy sauce is, it is crazy. Loaded with garlic. Love it. A lot of sugar in it too, I can tell. But it's good. All right, come on. I think this is it because it's about 124. The other thing I wanted to do, when I was adding the neck diagrams, I wanted to add the old versions of those. I'm not going to bore you to death with that right now since you've already seen me do some of that. But I'm pretty sure that this is the right thing. because we've got a minute 24 down there. Yep. All right. So I'm done with that. We'll close that down. Confirm. This is going to be for $5 levels because it's an audio file. And that's good. All right, so it's published, but I wanted to go back here and show you the old diagrams real quick before we close this thing down. Let's get out of there. Oh, there it was. I just had the thumbnail already. Okay, old neck diagrams. Old core diagrams, there they are, right there. Now we see the first one looks like this, okay? Well, now there's the other version. That's what I used to have, okay? So I think rather than including those, since they look terrible compared to what they do now, I'll just let you, see them here right now. You can see this and see what it looked like versus this. Same chords, pretty much. They might have been rearranged a little bit, but look a lot better now. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you guys. So for now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and get off here. The other perks I wanted to add, I have to do through Udemy, and so I'm going to have to go take some time and do some of those, and then hopefully maybe go ahead and call it a day. As far as that goes. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let me check the chat one more time, and then I'll be done. I'll just go here so you can see the kitty. I don't see anything else, so I'm just going to close off and say... All right. Wow, thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you on Patreon, and then the link to Patreon. So, you guys, thank you so much. From me and the kitty, we appreciate you watching us today. We appreciate you giving us your attention for all of an hour and 45 minutes almost. And this is the kind of stuff I want to do on Patreon. I'm really excited to start creating for a community of people. I still have ideas for YouTube and things like that, but it seems like the focus is kind of, I have over 700 videos, including those videos that are unlisted, which the majority of which are part of the guitar newsletter archive that I told you about. 70 of those are. So 70 of them are unlisted out of my 700 videos. So there are some other ones that are unlisted, little minor things, but I'm going to start having a lot more unlisted. But I have over 700 videos on there now, 13,000 subscribers and counting. So I appreciate everybody that's subscribed here on YouTube. Please don't think that I've forgotten you or anything like that. But I feel like this is the time where I just need to branch out. And I don't know. Like I said, I have all this other stuff. Where else is it going to go? I mean, where else am I going to put a 20-year-old cassette out there on the world, other than releasing it as an album, which I may do that too. I don't know, but I want to make that stuff accessible, stuff that I feel is important, stuff that people who really enjoy my work would no doubt like to hear what I sounded like singing 20 years ago. But I apologize for the stream lagging. I probably need to do some more research and maybe even just get back onto streaming directly from my camera. The thing about that is you can't stream from multiple sources via YouTube. As far as I know, they haven't fixed that yet. And it's nice to be able to switch back and forth between cameras. That keeps from editing, and that just makes it more interesting to the viewer. So, but I thank you so much for watching. Please check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Beatty, or ericbeatty.com/Patreon. They'll both take you to the same space. And so for me and Kitty here, it's about to rain. We're going to wrap this up and maybe do a little bit more. Take a little break, do a little bit more. And we'll see you on the other side of Patreon. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. God bless you. And one of my favorite CDs is Country Gentleman Live in Japan from William Haley. Yes. Thanks for the tips and information you give. To be honest, I'm from Georgia, but I'm here in Japan for work. Okay, thank you for that. That's pretty cool. But thank you so much for the great, participation here. The comments and the Country Gentlemen are definitely a group to listen for. They're really good, really well known. All right, so we're going to get off here. Thank you so much. God bless, and we will see you on the other side of Patreon.